Hey, it's Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here with another art video. Today is actually going to be about how to fix the lag in Photoshop, and I hope this helps you guys out. I've been pretty frustrated with how laggy and slow my Photoshop was running, so I really looked through the internet, through forums, Adobe, community, all these kinds of things, and I saw a lot of people that were having the same issue and a lot of common things to try to go ahead and speed up your Photoshop so that it can run well. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it and start with the number one thing you can do. The number one thing you can do is you go into Edit and you go into Preferences and you go into your Performance. Okay, so this screen right here is very important, so we're just going to go through each of these different settings, what they kind of mean, and how you can kind of optimize this. So this is how much available RAM you have, and this is pretty much the range in which you want to fall within. So you can change plus or minus how much you let Photoshop use your memory and your RAM. So since I have additional RAM to use, I am at the highest setting for the ideal range, so I'm actually above it, which is awesome. And so making sure that your memory is good is step number one. We want to go over to our graphics processor settings. Now if it's running extremely low, I would just turn off using graphics processor. That is going to speed things up. My computer is fast enough to be able to use a graphics processor without it becoming too slow, and I also have a dedicated graphics card, the Radeon 540. Okay, so now history states, turn this down. This is basically how many times you can undo, and typically I think it sets it at like 50 originally. I would turn that down maybe to around like 10 to 20 history states. If you're drawing and you are using roughly like paper sizes, you're gonna want a cache level of around 4 and the cache tile size to be 1024K. Now I've heard some people say to turn on this legacy composting and or compositing, and that can help, but I haven't really noticed any help so far with that. Okay, so go into your preferences, edit your preferences, try to optimize the best you can. So that is the best starting place. So after you do that, there's a couple other things that you can do. So the next thing that you can do is go into file handling, and in file handling, I think you click on this camera raw preferences, and you change a setting in there. Let me see real quick. Yeah, camera, then you go into performance and you use the use graphics processor. You turn that off, and I think there is something else you can do in here. General, you want to purge this cache level right here. So purge cache, and then go to performance, and then use graphics processor, turn that off. Okay, so the last thing that you can do is contact Adobe themselves, and this is what I did. I did this just last night, and I said, hey, my Photoshop is running slow. I've done all the optimizing techniques so far. What else can I do? So they took over my computer, and what they did was they went into all my Adobe folders. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but they changed all the permissions for the user and for the program to allow. So they allowed all the permissions for everything, and they went through every single Adobe folder, and they changed that. And when that was finished, my Photoshop was running way smoother, probably back up to 100%. So I just kind of want to demonstrate how it kind of performs now, and even with a brush like this that's textured, it's still running pretty smooth. Not incredibly smooth, obviously, when you do big strokes or anything like that, but it is running way smoother than it was before. And if we change to a simple brush, it's running really smooth. So final bonus tip for the brushes: if you go into the brush settings here, type brush settings. If you can't find it on your side panel, go to window and go down to brush settings and click that. You see this button right here, it says smoothing right here. You see this button? I'm going to click it on and off a few times. Click that off and watch how it becomes even smoother to draw. Look, it's getting way more responsive. So turn off that smoothing, and you're going to start noticing big differences in your performance. So hopefully that helps you guys out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Again, this is Mega, aka the Art Messiah. Follow videos for tutorials and fixes and drawing tips, techniques. And I'm working on a project called Ignition. It's an interactive webcomic, so feel free to check that out in the links below, and to follow me on social media. So hopefully this helps you guys. Leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.